Man, Rooster, it's gotta be 5 o'clock somewhere.
Welcome back, everybody.
Dando!
It's that show.
Be Shia.
Rooster here.
Wanna get a little woke?
Little wokeness. Everybody needs to wake up to the wokeness.
You wanna get a little woke? You've been a little sleep? You wanna get woke?
Yeah. We were just talking about. I don't know if you guys have seen this Shia LaBeouf interview with what's his name? John
Berthnall, or I think it's Berthnall. Because I believe it's pronounced, or it's spelled Berthnal. Berthnall.
Yeah.
I believe that's how it's.
Yeah. He's the new Punisher. If you guys have seen the new Punisher, that's who it is.
Yeah.
But
He's in a ton of movies.
fucking Shia was reaching for the borders, going out of bounds on a lot of shit. I was like, God. He seems like he's in a really good place now, but I was fucking shocked by all the shit that he revealed in that whole interview.
All I gotta say is that people don't think that people in Hollywood are like unhinged. All you gotta do is watch that shit. Because
right.
I mean, it takes a lot to make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But when he's talking about how he lost his virginity by holding a knife to a woman's throat, I was like,
right.
There's how much of this interview left?
Like a whole hour and a half.
Oh
Jesus.
my God.
Yeah, like when he said that, you could tell fucking John was like, whoa. His eyes opened, like he was like ready to fucking tackle this dude after he fucking said that. But
I don't know, man. Here's the thing: is like I've seen a lot. I think probably I've seen all of. Is it Shia or Shia? I don't know.
It's Shia.
Okay, his movies, his films, right? I've actually seen some footage too of him acting on stage, right? And don't get me wrong, this guy is like when he takes on a role, he is in that.
Yeah.
Like he tries to be completely immersed. Like I read this whole thing about when he did Lawless. And they were talking about the moonshining and everything. That every day on set, that dude was straight twisted on moonshine.
Really?
Like he would straight drink that shit on set, so that he was
method acting.
Yeah, I'm like, hold the fucking phone. Like, isn't this how shit goes wrong?
Yeah, seriously. Did you see that? Like, I forget what it's called, like Honeybee movie or whatever, where it was his story about his dad. And like,
yeah, and then he just came out and said that was all just to get back at his dad.
Yeah, right.
He said it was just him to do it out of spite.
Yeah.
What?
But he said in that interview that that movie made him sympathize with his dad more, who was the biggest villain in his life, and made him understand him a little bit better and put him in a better place ultimately. But I was like, Jesus, that movie is fucking crazy.
The Peanut Butter Falcon is, I think, one of his best films.
Peanut Butter Falcon.
So he's with this guy, and he's got Down syndrome, and he wants to be a professional wrestler, and he's traveling across and trying to get him. It's a great movie. You just got to check it out.
Okay.
And that's where I think he really shines. Is like when he gets into like these little niche roles that just like are the most extreme characters you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He fits really well.
Mm.
Like, what was the movie he just did not long ago where he's like the enforcer in a Mexican cartel or gang members?
I haven't heard about that either.
I watched that and I was like, he's actually fucking scary in that.
Wow.
I'm like, this dude puts himself in it.
Yeah.
Like, he puts himself in it. And that's what, I'm watching this whole interview with John and I'm thinking, he's talking about going to rehab and he's talking about, you know.
How it didn't work and how, yeah.
And, I mean, I'm like, how many meds is this guy on? How many meds?
This fool does seem pretty crazy.
I mean, like, he is out there. Like,
he's talking in a better place now.
But he's talking about how he's living with his girlfriend, but he's still married to his wife. And I'm like...
And his wife hasn't been a part of his life in forever, but, like, all this shit, I'm like...
What in the absolute donkey is going on right now? Like, what is happening? And poor John is sitting there like...
Shia probably spoke 5 times more than John did. I don't think John said a sentence
easily,
or two.
He easily spoke 80% of the time.
Yeah.
John's just like, I'm still processing from the beginning.
Still processing the knife held against the woman's neck. Seriously, though. Yeah, that was a really good interview, though. I thought they did a good job at that.
And then you look at, he was fired from a film by Olivia Wilde, right, because of his misogynistic behaviors, right? That's basically the boil of it. But you look at what's happening in Hollywood and how this wokeness in TV shows and series and things like that are all interplaying, right? You got to incorporate more of this. You got to incorporate more of that. You got to incorporate more of this. You got to incorporate more of that. Well, in some degree, I would say, depending on the film or the theater or whatever you're trying to encapsulate, maybe. But in every goddamn thing, I don't need to see it in a Cheez-It commercial. I don't need to see this shit all over the place.
You know what that makes me think of? Have you seen or heard anything about this She-Hulk?
Yeah, I've watched them.
You've watched it?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Honestly,
I heard it was like the epitome of that. Like,
no,
it was just
I feel like it's not, but I feel like the storyline isn't right because somebody that read the comics when they happen to be young. I know that's like predating a lot of you people, but I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting the way they're trying to incorporate it, and I don't know. It's like I've watched the first 2 episodes of the Lord of the Rings of Power, right? And I'm like, how is this timeline working? Like, I don't understand. I've read the books. I read Tolkien's books. I literally, from first page to end, I've read his books. And then I read it's all out of the appendices, right? Like the short stories and things. And I never read those. And I'm like, well, shame on me, but I'm pretty goddamn sure after reading the original text, some of this shit is not the way it went down.
What is going on?
This is not how it worked.
Right.
And then they talked about how it cost over $750 million to make that show.
What show? The Rings of Power?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let that sink in for a minute.
Holy shit.
$750 million.
Jesus.
For a goddamn show.
I didn't realize that was out yet.
Yeah, it just came out.
What's it on?
Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I need to watch that.
I'm like, what in the... What is going on? Don't get me wrong, the cinematography in these shows is stunning.
Yeah.
I mean, stunning.
Did you see that video about how they made the title sequence with like the lava draining down the Lord of the Rings logo and like... So you've seen the title sequence of this Rings of Power, right?
Yeah.
Is it like the lava and the smoke dripping in and filling out the Lord of the Rings thing?
I believe so. There may have been beer.
Months ago. May have been. Months ago, I saw a video about them making that and shooting it and like pouring the lava into the thing or whatever. That's just a random side thing, but I thought that was super cool cinematography, how they figured that out and made it like super genuine lava and shit. I thought it was really cool. So.
And one series that I've not finished yet and I'm watching now is Chris Pratt's series on Prime, and they're just totally just bashing the shit out of him, saying that it's just this masculine filled this and that, and and that it's going against woke culture.
What's the show about?
God, now of course you're gonna ask me when we've had beers. It's on Prime. Just look up Chris Pratt.
Okay.
It's there. Okay.
Okay.
And I like Chris Pratt. I think he's goofy. I think he's funny. I think he does a pretty good job. But I'm just like, come on, people. Why is it always got to be this centric aspect of why do I care what you go by? Literally, that's what it comes down to. I don't care. Right. Like, are you going to start beating the shit out of the Pillsbury Doughboy because you don't know if he's a boy or a girl? Like, he hasn't identified himself? Like, what is happening right now? Like, come on. Leave it alone. Wait, what, Planters isn't really a dude? Like, I mean, what the Planters peanut is not really a dude? Right. Like, I mean, what was he doing? I don't care.
Have you seen that dude on TikTok who's going around asking people what is a woman?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. That dude fucking cracks me up.
Oh, yeah.
Talking to psychologists and woke teachers all over the United States and shit, and he's like, well, if I identify as a woman, what is a woman? And they just can't fucking take it.
No, they won't answer the question.
Yeah.
They won't answer the question.
Right.
It's like, but they can very definitely identify a man.
Right.
Right? They can very definitely identify a man, but they cannot identify a woman.
Right. And then he's like, if a chicken lays an egg, did I identify that chicken as a woman, or is it a woman because it laid an egg or whatever? And then the bitch is like, does a chicken have a gender identity? It's like, no.
My eyes hurt. You're making my eyes hurt.
My brain.
I'm pretty sure my brain's telling my eyes to shut. I should not be watching this. Should not be watching this.
Right.
It's just, it just amazes me. It's like, because we talked about this before in other episodes, and I can't believe that is the actual, like, general consensus, is that there's the majority of this group that is out there that has to influence every single aspect of everybody else's lives without ever asking.
Right.
Right?
Seriously.
I am, you can be charged in the United States of America, you can be charged for verbally assaulting someone, right? But yet nobody's charging these fucking people, right? Nobody's charging anybody because you're making me have to tell you or call you by a certain thing because I didn't know.
Right.
And now I'm the offender?
Right. I love what Jordan Peterson has to say about that whole thing and about how...
Peterson, that's another whole topic.
Yeah, seriously. But how about, like, saying somebody can't say something is one thing, but saying that somebody must say something is a whole nother breach of freedom of speech.
Right. Right.
I love that guy. He is insanely wise.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, well, you know what? We'll have to dedicate a whole episode to that guy because I've spent more hours watching his speeches, than I think I have
and his
of a
lectures
lot of people.
And fucking
But this wokeness in Hollywood, and again, we're going to circle back to Shia.
Don't shy away from shy.
But I think it was a really good eye opener, like opening the window completely. No curtains, no blinds, no nothing. And poor John is sitting there, and he's just on the other side of this, just having to take it. And I think he was probably like, I was not expecting this.
Yeah, seriously.
I was not expecting the well of this guy's vocabulary. Yeah. And how articulate this man is.
He seems like he's doing way better.
But him talking about his accountability to his culpability. Yeah. Right? That is immense because as a human being, as you get older and you look back on your life choices and you become more accountable and more culpable to the things you've done, and it makes you change things in your future. I am in that phase now where, and I have been for years, and I'm trying to be a different person, right? But being Jekyll and Hyde, there's always that duality that happens. Right. And I understand that a tiger never changes its stripes, but it also learns new habits, right? It learns different tactics. And so I have to as a person working on myself personally, I have to look at it and go, is he for real? Or is this just he's learned to camouflage himself better? Right. Right? Like, because I feel like when you've given that much power and that much influence, it's very easy to go, no, I'm not that way anymore. Right. And then you turn around and then you're Ezra Miller and you're running around and the whole country's looking for you because you're holding somebody hostage. They don't even know where they're at. Right? Jesus. Like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, the Flash has lost his fucking mind.
Seriously, though. This is another topic, but I wonder what they're going to do about that now.
I don't know, because they shot like 9/10 of that film.
Yeah, literally.
Like, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. Yeah. And I really liked him as the Flash. I thought he brought that kind of quirkiness to it. And I'm like, if they're going to scrap this whole project, Michael Keaton is going to be fucking pissed. Yeah,
seriously.
He's going to be fucking pissed. Right? Like, Ben Affleck's okay. He doesn't give a shit. He just married J-Lo. Yeah, he doesn't fucking care. He doesn't care. Right. But goddamn, this is what you get when you don't have, like, it's so funny because you didn't grow up in a time where you saw the transition from really the heavily, like, masculine, misogynistic culture like have it take a downturn.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up in a time where
because that's what it was like all like in the 70s, right? It was like women couldn't even have like credit cards and shit in the 70s, right?
I mean, no, they could, but I mean the thing is like just the behavior between men and women, right? And that happened until probably like the mid to late 80s, depending on what part of the country you lived in. In the 90s, oh, you ain't pulling that shit. You are not pulling that shit. And really the turn of it, and everybody's gonna know this movie, and this one's for you, T. 9 to 5 with Dolly Parton. That is a great movie. That's where it shows that women aren't taking this shit from men anymore. And they're just like, nope, not doing it. And that
I never even heard about it. Wow.
Oh, dude.
Wait, it came out in the 90s?
No, hell no. I think it came out in the early 80s.
Oh, okay.
Right? I don't even remember, but you're going to have to ask T and sit down and watch it with her.
Yeah.
And she's going to be like, oh, you know, this is like one of Dolly's best goddamn movies, right? But yeah, and now it's like me teaching my sons. You better watch what you say, because a word can mean a whole lot of shit.
Yeah.
And that's why we're not liked on YouTube, but that's fine.
That's why YouTube shadow bans us.
In a big way. In a big way. But I don't know, it's like, it just really just like makes you open up and just look at like the whole perspective. And the craziest thing is like the people that are really out there like pushing their voice really hard, you're like, are you really that unhappy?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be your friend. I mean, you need a hug?
You need a shoulder to cry on?
I mean, I give you a hug. I got big arms. I mean, I can hold on to I'm like, what the fuck do you need out of life? Like, Jesus Christ, right. you need a Snickers?
Right.
Jesus Christ, like, are you okay? I'm just trying to help.
Seriously.
I don't know, man.
I think people growing up in this time don't realize like how bad it actually used to be.
But it wasn't bad. That's the thing I'm getting at. It wasn't bad. I mean, you had to be an absolute shitbag to be walking around and be like smacking women's asses and like calling people fags and this and that. You can't do that shit. And I was raised in that form, and trust me, my grandfather was a huge bigot. But he told me not to do that shit, right?
Yeah.
Not saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying that he was like, you can't do this anymore. You can't do it. But that shows accountability to what people don't teach the next generation, right? And it's like, is there that much separation that people don't know right from wrong anymore?
Yeah, right? Right? I feel like all our morals are like instinctively ground into us by the time we're born, you know? It's like you said, most people probably were never that way. There was just that one little segment of humanity that got away with it, but I don't know. But we're dragging on here. We got to get some more beer.
We got to get beer. We got to get beer. We're going to come back with a cheery episode, because that was just filled with all kinds of bands by YouTube. I mean, they're just totally, I don't even know if this is going to play.
Right.
At this point.
Right.
I don't even know if this is going to play at this point. But hell, we'll be back in a minute. See you in a few.
Cheers. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to, that show.